Greetings friends and welcome back to the woods, and this is my Kochanski tribute video. I've got a few hours today, so I've come up the woods. I'm going to build a super shelter frame and I'm going to gather wood for tomorrow night's camp out. Meeting friends here tomorrow, nice little meet up, talk about the great Kochanski, share some skills. But for today I'm building a shelter, I'll be lighting a fire and I'll be showing you some more Kochanski things, related things that I have. Right then, first things first, I got to dismantle the old super shelter, see what I can salvage from it. Feather sticks that didn't make the grade last time, and unfortunately they're pretty wet now because it absolutely tipped down last night. This super shelter was built by myself about 2 years ago, got to be 2 years ago, and I'm quite surprised how well it's lasted considering the damp climate here in the UK, especially in Wales. It's always wet. That's lasted well. One piece of birch rotten and snapped. I'm thinking, and when I pull it apart, a bit more is going to fall apart. Lucky for me, I only need to find 2 long ones, and that's going to be pretty easy. What I'm going to do now is go off and get some wood. Well, that's the start. I got 5, so that's some firewood and enough wood to finish off my shelter. Use the saw mainly. The axe wasn't that good. I don't think the grind on it suits. I put sort of all-purpose grind on, and it could do with being either one way or the other. So either a splitter or a chopper. It's not chopping or snedding very well. There's too much of a convex on it for my liking. Well, the hat and the glasses had to come off because I'm boiling. I'm going to get these back to camp now, and I'm going to come back, get some more firewood. So if I'm a lucky man, them 3 pieces will keep me warm for half an hour. That's not a bad pile for starters. I'm probably going to need a bit more. It's not that cold during the night anyway. We were meant to have a cold snap, but I don't think it's coming. I'm warm. My glasses are steamed up. The hat is in my pocket because that just made me even warmer. And I think it's time for a cup of coffee. More style. When we asked the great Kochanski what his preferred fire lighting method was, he gave us a bit of a shock because we were expecting something exotic like flint and steel or bow drill or something, but no, he said matches. He loved matches. Now I've done a video in the past lighting a fire Kochanski style with matches, standing up. I won't bother doing that today, but I will light them with matches. And I've dug out a birch bark pot. And I can't remember if I made this in Canada or on my first trip to Sweden. I just can't remember. That's what I'm going to light the fire with. Smoke signals. Got the Chinese pot to me today, and basically it's a Moor's pot, but a bit smaller. Now here's an interesting tale, if you didn't already know it. Moore said when you're doing bush coffee, you sprinkle the coffee on top of the cold water and you make it so it's enough that a mouse could run across. I know, it's a bit strange, but it works. So I've got just under a litre of water in there, and well, basically I've judged the coffee by putting it on top to what a mouse could run across. And now it's going on the fire. Got my tripod up, the sticks were here from last time, and I carry the chain in the bag. Whilst I'm waiting for my coffee to brew in the pot, I thought I'd show you two items that I had when I went on the winter skills course with Moors. First up, knife. Now this isn't the original sheath. I made this when I came home and the original sheath just got lost somewhere. And this is a Mora Ericsson, and when I went out, this is what Moors was using. He was carrying two of these. He was carrying a carbon one and a stainless one. This is a carbon one. So this was pre-Skookum days, before Rod Garcia started making Skookums. And I bought one off him, cheap, and Scott did. And basically used this when we went on our 3-day walk with Moors, and used this knife, pair of us did, for everything. We left our nice posh knives back in his base camp, and we went out walking, and we went Moors style, and we used these, and they were great. The only problem, they didn't have a sharp spine, but we weren't lighting fires with ferro rods anyway. We were lighting fires with this. Not actually this tin, but what's in the tin. Keeping an eye on my coffee. Moors had us make fire kits, and it was my bright idea to put it in a Molson Canadian beer can. and it was Scott's idea to make the lid. That's just a piece of sisal cord. So basically he gave us a section of hacksaw blade and he said the cheapest one's the better. So we all had a piece of that. He gave us a piece of not flint, I believe it's chert or something. I've got a few pieces of that in there. Char cloth, which we made the Kochanski way, no pots, a split log, light it on fire and then douse it with the other side of the log. So there's your log, there's your burning denim, flat, smother it, and that's as simple as that. And that's what we were lighting our fires with. And I do believe that that is the char cloth I actually made out there, because I don't think I've used this since I came back. Let's see how good it strikes. Not bad at all. And I was going to light this fire with this kit, but I was actually dying for a cup of coffee because I've been here a few hours and I haven't had anything. And the knife, different to more as you get now, it's just under 3mm thick. It's perfect thickness. I wish Mora would make this style of knife, the 511. This one did have a cross guard on it, but I cut that off straight away. If they made the 511 with a nice thicker material and a sharp spine, cracking knife. I think my coffee's ready. Now, some of you regular viewers have probably noticed that my fire is not particularly neat and not particularly well burning today. There's a reason. It's warm here. I really don't need the heat from it. I just needed to take over, so I don't want to burn a lot, because tomorrow I'm going to be burning quite a lot. So it's just taking over. Only need a few dry sticks, twigs, and it'll go up again for another cup of nice strong coffee. The great Kochanski was right. He was always right. Right then, coffee drunk, time to get on with this frame. I cut myself snapping twigs for that fire. Should have worn my gloves. Rookie mistake. I got a fair bit of paracord here, and the great man himself, he used to carry that much with him because he loved paracord. He thought it was amazing stuff. So I brought a full roll as well. All I need to do here now is cut the end ones to length, cut the long ones to the correct length, jam knot them up. Not really a one-handed axe. It's a little bit unwieldy for that. but as long as I make sure the cut doesn't go anywhere near my leg, so I step to the other side, I'm fine. Jam knots then. One thing to bear in mind with jam knots, paracord actually works better if you gut it and take the inner out, but I'm not going to bother, but it does work better. Only another 5 to go. My base is finished. I've got to go into the coppice now and cut some green stuff for the hoops and a few for the bed. I'm hoping to use a few of the old ones in the bed as well, but I'm not holding out much hope. I got a Laplander for this job. I won't be taking you with me in there because it's really overgrown with bramble and it's a nightmare to get in there anyway without taking a tripod on camera. So I'll see you in about 15-20 minutes. That should be enough. I was lucky. I found a nice few hazel stands and I selectively pruned a couple out of each one. I've been around gathering some wood for a fire. I've got my wood graded up. Now I'm not a fan of stones around the fire, but we leave it here for today while we're cooking and boiling, and tonight when I go to bed I'll be taking the stones away that'll be blocking my heat, so that'll be gone tonight. I've put a log here. I've left a gap in these two rocks so the wind can come through. It is a bit windy, but wind helps, let's face it. So I've left a little gap there and I've just put a log on top so the wind doesn't take the flames over the top, it just feeds it from underneath. Well, I'm going to split some wood up now, make a few feather sticks. As you can see, I had a change of tools today. I brought my Boreal 21, I did most of the big sawing yesterday, and to be honest with you, I prefer this, it's a much nicer saw. I also brought my splitting maul, my new one. As much as I like the Swedish axe and I like to do things Mos's way, it works better and it's a bit safer because it's a bit shorter. So that's the tools of today. Oh! And I got my tribute knife. If you're a regular viewer, you'll probably have a bit of shock how easy that split. Different wood up here, far different from my regular spot. My regular spot, the wood is a nightmare to split. Piece of cake up here. I've been gathering greenery from the woods floor. Unfortunately, no trees came down in the storm last week. I'm not particularly fussed on cutting a big tree down just to get a bit of greenery. Oops! Well, that's the hard work done. Bed's done. I've put some extra dry stuff on top just to strengthen it. And next thing, after a cup of tea, is the greenery for the bed. The bed is done. It holds my weight. It's reasonably comfortable. One thing you will notice though, I am a bit far from the fire. The beauty of the shelter is the fact you can move it. If you noticed when I put the benders in, none of them went in the ground. They all rest on there, on the cross beams. So this can be moved, no problem at all. Yes, I look forward to getting the top on now, get out of the wind. Have my plastic sheet in, and this is 3 meters by 4 meters, which is more than I want, but it's better to have too much than too little. In here I have a mylar sheet and a piece of parachute silk. I'm doing this the proper way. I need a hand with this because it's blowing so much. Scott's going to give me a hand. super shelter is done. I have tucked in the clear plastic underneath because I'm going to sit in here tonight, but when I go to bed I'll be putting that down and rolling it in a piece of wood to keep all the heat in. Well, I'm sure you know the super shelter works. So, built, done. As I said earlier, I got to move it closer to the fire to keep me warm. But to be honest with you, I'm no hero. I've actually got a candle lantern to go inside it, and I've got a wool blanket for comfort mainly. Well, Scott and Andy have shot off home. It's just Tony and myself left here now. It's 5:10 and it's almost pitch dark, unfortunately. Well, I need to do some food, and I'm going a bit Kochanski style with my food, because I've got a tin of chicken, I've got dehydrated vegetables and a packet of flavouring. That's going to be my food for tonight, and it should be quite a hearty meal. But I've got to get my vegetables dehydrated now, rehydrated now. My food is done. Chicken casserole. And I think that's enough for two. I could do with something now because I haven't eaten since 6:30 this morning, so it's been a while. We had our food about an hour or so ago. Mine was okay. Could have done with a bit more taste, but it filled a hole. Started putting some big stuff on the fire now to dry out, ready for me freezing after death tonight. Right then folks, time for bed. It's 10 to 12 and I'm about to get in my super shelter. I'll give you a tour. I've got 2 thin wool blankets, hot water bottle, and sticks for the morning. Fire's about 5 foot long, and there's a marked difference sitting in the super shelter to sitting outside. Trust me, it's pretty cold tonight. I'll see you in the morning. Good night. Good morning. It's about 6:30. I've just woken up. Well, I haven't really just woken up. I've been up about a quarter of an hour because I put a load of wood on the fire. Hasn't been too bad, but the wind has played a massive part in keeping me not that warm. I've used a super shelter on several occasions in Canada, here in the UK, and trust me, it works well. This one didn't work very well. I haven't been particularly really cold, but I haven't been boiling hot, and the super shelter is hot when it's working properly. It's far too windy. I think I'm the warmest now I've been all night. But there we are. I survived the night. I'm really glad I brought my blankets, because I think I'd have been really cold without them. Yeah, 4 times I got up to tend the fire. Have a little lie down now for a bit and then make breakfast. 8:15 in the morning. Had a bit of an incident about an hour ago. It started to rain and the wind changed direction, and I actually got smoked out in my super shelter, and that's never happened to me before. It was really uncomfortable. My eyes were streaming, I couldn't breathe. I had to get out, and I hadn't long got that fire going again, and it was roaring, and I had to move the shelter around to block the wind to be comfortable. I've had a cup of coffee, which was quite welcomed and quite strong as well. Yes, so I may get a bit of breakfast on now. Get back to you in a bit. Oh, one other thing. The realities of sleeping out without a good sleeping bag in the winter. It's not a lot of fun. It's hard work. And anybody who has a romantic view is a fool. Just saying. Another thing that went wrong last night. My candle lantern had a malfunction. The spring must have stopped working or got clogged. And I only had about 2 hours of burn out of it. And it was all clogged up with wax around here. So I've scraped most of it off. I'm going to put some boiling water over it now. The joys of bushcrafting when everything goes wrong. Well, we're more or less packed up now. Didn't have anything particularly interesting for breakfast, just a pot of oats. Didn't feel like much anyway after my 1 pot Moors meal last night. I was going to make fried bread, but I really didn't need to. Well, I hope you've enjoyed the video. Thank you very much for watching. I will see you next time. And a thumbs up is always appreciated. Ta-ra! Whilst I'm waiting for my kettle, sorry, start that again, because it's not a kettle, it's a pot. And one thing, this is getting on my nerves flapping about, so in the noggy it goes. No messing about with tins or this modern British kind of bullshit, if you want to call it that. Don't need to do it. The simpler methods. Only another 6 to go, 5. Especially in this damp climate in the UK. Start that again, that was fucking awful. And unfortunately, I can't take it with me because it's so overgrown with bracken and shit. Oh fuck, start that again. Oh, what? Bracken. I won't be taking it with me because it's really overgrown and there's a hell of a lot of, oh my god, brain fat. Bramble. Well, I'll tell you something for nothing. I should have put my glasses back on because I'm short-sighted. By the time I walk back, I couldn't see you. Top's got to go on now, and to be honest with you, it's really chilly here today. It's blowing a gale, so I'll be looking forward to sitting in there when it gets start that again, because fucking Scott is talking there and he's like putting me right off.
Oh, nice. Hold on. I just caught that. That. Down the line for the play for Wales. Glamorous assistant, because Nick's not here.